Welcome back to ZE Coins channel. Today's journey dives deep into one specific coin that continues to spark curiosity and excitement among numismatists and casual collectors alike. The United States of America 1982 P Mint Mark quarter dollar coin at T. Oh, truly appreciate this coin. We must travel back in time to the early 1980s, a period of transition and challenge for the United States. The nation was navigating economic uncertainty, inflation concerns, and shifts in industrial production. Coinage, often overlooked, reflected these broader changes. In 1982, the U.S. Mint was adapting to rising metal costs and evolving production methods, and this year became especially significant in the story of modern American quarters. The Washington quarter design had already been a familiar sight for decades by 1982. First introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, the design quickly became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. By the time the 1982 quarter was struck, the portrait of Washington on the obverse was iconic. His profile, facing left, carried a sense of tradition, stability, and national pride. Surrounding him were the familiar inscriptions that millions of Americans recognized instantly, reinforcing the coin's role as both currency and cultural symbol. On the reverse, the eagle design still reigned in 1982. The heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolized strength and peace. This design would later be replaced by other motifs, but in 1982 it remained a powerful reminder of American identity. The combination of these designs made the quarter instantly recognizable, yet the year and mint mark gave each coin its own unique place in history. What truly sets the 1982 quarter apart is the presence of the P Mint mark. Prior to 1980, Philadelphia minted quarters did not carry a mint mark, which made identifying their origin more challenging. Starting in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint began using the P Mint mark on quarters, and by 1982 this practice was still relatively new. This small letter became an important detail for collectors, marking a clear shift in minting policy and adding a layer of intrigue to coins from this era. The Philadelphia Mint itself has a long and storied history, being the first official mint of the United States. Coins produced there often carry a sense of authenticity and heritage. The 1982 P quarter, therefore, represents not just a year, but a continuation of a legacy that dates back to the founding of the nation. Holding one connects you to centuries of American monetary history. Another fascinating aspect of the 1982 P quarter lies in the broader context of minting that year. Unlike some years where mint sets were widely available, 1982 and 1983 saw no official uncirculated mint sets produced by the U.S. Mint. This decision has had a lasting impact on collector interest. Because fewer high-quality examples were preserved directly from the mint, finding well-preserved 1982 P quarters today can be more challenging. This scarcity in top condition has fueled attention and discussion within the collecting community. Condition plays a crucial role in how collectors perceive and evaluate this coin. Quarters that have spent decades in circulation often show signs of wear, including softened details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. However, examples that escaped heavy circulation and retained sharper details are especially admired. Collectors often study the surfaces closely, looking for luster, clean fields, and strong strikes. Each surviving coin tells its own story of how it was used, stored, or forgotten. The metal composition of the 1982 quarter is also worth noting. Like all modern quarters of the time, it was made from a copper-nickel clad composition, featuring a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel alloy. This change from earlier silver quarters, which ended in 1964, marked a new era in American coinage. While the intrinsic metal value was lower than silver coins, the historical and collectible significance of certain clad quarters has continued to grow. Collectors are often drawn to the 1982 P quarter not only for its design and history, but also for the stories surrounding its production. Minor variations, strike quality differences, and overall availability add depth to the coin's narrative. Some enthusiasts enjoy searching through rolls of quarters, hoping to uncover a particularly well-preserved example. Others focus on assembling complete date and mint mark sets, where the 1982 P quarter plays a key role. Beyond the technical details, there is something deeply appealing about the idea that everyday objects can hold hidden value and meaning. The 1982p quarter reminds us that history is not only found in museums or textbooks, but also in the coins we handle daily. Each quarter minted that year was a silent witness to the events, culture, and economy of its time. For YouTube viewers, this coin offers an engaging story that blends education with the thrill of discovery. It invites people to look more closely at their spare change and consider the possibility that something ordinary could be extraordinary. The excitement does not come from fantasy or exaggeration, but from understanding the real historical context and collector interest that surrounds this coin. AS interest in coin collecting continues to grow online, especially through videos and social media. The 1982p quarter stands as a perfect example of how modern coins can still capture imagination. It bridges the gap between past and present, between casual curiosity and serious collecting. Whether someone is new to numismatics or has been collecting for decades, this coin offers a compelling topic for discussion and exploration. A video takes us deep into the fascinating world of American coinage, focusing on a single coin that many people have held, spent, or ignored without ever realizing its deeper story. We are talking about the United States of America 1987 D Mint Mark Quarter Dollar. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but behind its familiar design lies a story of minting history, collector passion, condition rarity, and surprising worth. Stay with me until the very end, because the final reveal may change how you look at the loose change in your pocket forever. Setting the scene of American coinage. To truly appreciate the 1987 D quarter, we must first understand the role of the quarter dollar in American life. For generations, the quarter has been one of the most widely used coins in the United States. It has paid for parking meters, vending machines, bus rides, and everyday purchases. Because of this constant circulation, quarters often go unnoticed. Yet this same heavy use makes certain examples incredibly difficult to find in pristine condition, and that is where collectors begin to pay close attention. By the late 1980s, the United States Mint was producing millions of quarters every year to meet demand. These coins were not originally intended to be collectibles. They were workhorse coins, meant to move quickly through the economy. Ironically, this everyday role is exactly what makes certain years and mint marks stand out today. The importance of the Denver Mint mark, the small letter D on the 1987 quarter, tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver facility has a long and respected history of producing coins for circulation. Coins from this mint are known for strong strikes and consistent quality. Yet even here, not every coin is created equal. Variations in pressure, die wear, and handling can all influence the final appearance of a coin. Collectors pay close attention to mint marks because they help identify where a coin was made and often influence availability. The Denver Mint produced a large number of quarters in 1987, but most of them entered circulation immediately. Very few were saved in flawless condition, especially compared to proof coins or special collector issues. This scarcity at the highest levels of preservation is a key reason why this coin attracts attention today. Design that defines an era. The obverse of the 1987 D quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington. This design, created by John Flanagan, has been a symbol of American coinage for decades. Washington's calm and dignified expression reflects leadership, stability, and national identity. The details of the hair, the sharpness of the lettering, and the smoothness of the fields all play an important role in how collectors evaluate the coin. On the reverse, we see the classic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. This imagery represents strength balanced with peace, a theme deeply rooted in American symbolism. For collectors, the clarity of the eagle's feathers and the boldness of the design elements can make a significant difference in overall desirability. Why condition changes everything when it comes to modern coins like the 1987 D quarter. Condition is everything. Because these coins were heavily circulated, most examples show signs of wear. Scratches, dull surfaces, and loss of detail are common. Coins in average circulated condition are usually appreciated for historical interest rather than financial worth. However, coins that somehow avoided circulation tell a very different story. Uncirculated examples, especially those with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks, become dramatically more desirable. At the highest grading levels, where a coin appears almost exactly as it did the moment it left the mint, demand increases sharply. Collectors compete fiercely for these rare survivors of everyday commerce. The challenge of finding a perfect example. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1987 D quarter is how difficult it is to find in top condition. Unlike earlier decades when people routinely saved rolls of new coins, the late 1980s saw less hoarding of circulating coinage. As a result, many coins from this era were spent, handled, and worn down without a second thought. This means that truly pristine examples are far scarcer than the original mintage numbers might suggest. Coins that exhibit brilliant surfaces, crisp strikes, and virtually no contact marks are the exception rather than the rule. For collectors who specialize in high-grade modern coins, this challenge adds excitement and prestige to owning such a piece. Collector demand and market interest. Collector interest in modern quarters has grown steadily over time. As earlier classic coins become more expensive and harder to obtain, many collectors turn their attention to modern issues with hidden rarity. The 1987 D quarter fits perfectly into this category. It represents a bridge between everyday pocket change and serious numismatic study. Collectors appreciate this coin not only for its potential worth, but also for what it represents. It is a snapshot of American life in the late 20th century, preserved in metal. Owning a high-quality example connects the collector to both history and the thrill of discovery. The role of professional grading services play a crucial role in establishing the value and credibility of coins like the 1987 D quarter. These services examine coins under strict standards, assigning grades that reflect condition, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. A top-grade designation can elevate a coin from ordinary to exceptional. For collectors and investors alike, certified coins offer confidence. They provide assurance that the coin has been carefully evaluated and authenticated. In the competitive world of modern coin collecting, this certification can make a dramatic difference in how a coin is perceived and valued. Why this coin captures attention. What makes the 1987 D quarter especially intriguing is the contrast between its humble origins and its potential significance. This is not a rare ancient coin or a limited edition commemorative. It is a coin that once passed through countless hands, unnoticed and unappreciated. Yet today, in the right condition, it commands respect and fascination. This transformation from ordinary to extraordinary is at the heart of numismatics. It reminds us that value is not always obvious and that history often hides in plain sight. Every coin has a story, and some stories take decades to fully reveal themselves. A final thought before the reveal. As we come to the end of this journey, take a moment to think about the change you handle every day. That simple quarter might carry more history and potential than you realize. The 1987 D quarter teaches us that patience, preservation, and knowledge can turn everyday objects into remarkable treasures. Video dives deep into one specific coin that has quietly fascinated collectors for decades: the United States of America 1990 D Mint Mark $quarter coin. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand why this coin is more than just 25 cents and why collectors around the world still search for it with passion and curiosity. At a snapshot of America in 1990. To truly appreciate the 1990 D quarter, we need to step back in time. The year 1990 was a turning point in American history. The Cold War was nearing its end, technology was rapidly advancing, and American culture was evolving at a fast pace. Music, movies, and fashion were changing, and so was the economy. Coins minted during this era reflect a nation moving confidently toward a new decade. Every quarter produced that year carries a silent imprint of this transformative moment in history. The quarter dollar has always been one of the most widely used coins in the United States. By 1990, it had already become a familiar object in every American pocket. Yet, even common coins can become special when we examine them closely, especially when they come from a specific mint and year that collectors pay attention to. Understanding the D Mint mark. One of the most important features of this quarter is the small letter D found on the coin. This letter tells us where the coin was produced. The D Mint mark represents the Denver Mint, one of the most productive and historically significant mints in the United States. The Denver Mint has been known for striking large quantities of coins with strong details and consistent quality. When you look at the obverse side of the 1990 quarter, you will see George Washington's profile, dignified and timeless. Just to the right of his ponytail, you'll find the D mint mark. This tiny letter plays a huge role in determining how collectors classify and evaluate the coin. While millions of quarters were minted in Denver that year, not all of them survived in pristine condition, and that is where value begins to emerge. Design details that matter. The design of the 1990 quarter follows the classic Washington quarter style. On the front, George Washington's portrait symbolizes leadership, unity, and American heritage. The inscriptions include the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust," both deeply rooted in American values. The year 1990 is clearly displayed beneath Washington's portrait. On the reverse side, the eagle with outstretched wings commands attention. It represents strength and freedom, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both defense and peace. The words United States of America and quarter dollar frame the design, completing a look that is both elegant and powerful. Collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of these details. The feathers on the eagle, the hair strands on Washington's head, and the clarity of the lettering all influence how desirable a coin can be. Even the smallest variation in strike quality can make a noticeable difference. Why condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting? Condition is king. The 1990 D quarter is no exception. Most of these coins entered circulation immediately and were used in everyday transactions. As a result, many show signs of wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. These circulated examples are common and usually hold only face value. However, coins that were preserved carefully or never entered circulation at all are a different story. Uncirculated examples, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, attract serious collector interest. The shine, or mint luster, reflects how freshly struck the coin remains. The more original luster a coin retains, the more appealing it becomes. Collectors and grading experts examine these quarters under magnification, searching for imperfections. A clean surface, sharp strike, and balanced toning can elevate a coin from ordinary to highly desirable. The role of professional grading. Another important aspect of understanding the worth of the 1990 D quarter is professional grading. Third-party grading services evaluate coins and assign them a grade based on their condition. This process helps standardize value and gives collectors confidence when buying or selling. That a high-grade 1990 D quarter can stand out in the market because it represents a coin that has defied time and handling. These top-condition examples are much rarer than their circulated counterparts, even if the original mintage was high. Grading also protects the coin by sealing it in a protective holder, preserving its condition for future generations. This combination of authentication, grading, and preservation adds another layer of desirability for collectors. The collector's perspective. For many collectors, the 1990 D quarter is part of a larger journey. Some collect by date, others by mint mark, and some aim to complete full sets of Washington quarters. In each of these approaches, this coin plays a role. It represents the final decade before the major design changes that would come later with the state quarters program. Collectors often enjoy the challenge of finding the best possible example of a seemingly common coin. There is a certain satisfaction in discovering a high-quality 1990 D quarter hidden among ordinary change or tucked away in an old collection. This sense of treasure hunting keeps the hobby exciting and deeply rewarding. Market interest and long-term appeal. Over time, interest in modern-era coins has grown. While older, rarer coins often dominate headlines, modern coins in exceptional condition have carved out their own space in the collecting world. The 1990 D quarter benefits from this trend. Its value is not based on age alone, but on condition, demand, and historical context. As collectors become more selective, high-grade examples gain attention. These coins are appreciated not just for what they are, but for what they represent. A snapshot of America at the dawn of a new decade, preserved in metal. Why this coin still matters. The 1990 D mint mark quarter dollar reminds us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. A coin you might overlook could carry significance beyond its face value, especially when viewed through the lens of history and collecting passion. This quarter tells a story of American craftsmanship, everyday commerce, and the quiet beauty of well-made currency. It bridges the gap between the past and present, connecting collectors to a specific moment in time. Closing thoughts and final value mention as we reach the end of this deep dive. Remember that coin collecting is about more than money. It is about curiosity, patience, and appreciation for history. The 1990D quarter may seem ordinary, but under the right circumstances, it can become something truly special. Story is about one such coin. The United States of America 1998 P Mint Mark Quarter Dollar. This is not just a piece of pocket change. It is a symbol of a turning point in American coinage, a witness to an era, and for collectors, a coin with a story that goes far beyond its face value. To understand the significance of the 1998 P Quarter Dollar, we must travel back to the late 1990s. America was standing on the edge of a new millennium. Technology was advancing rapidly, culture was shifting, and the United States Mint was preparing for one of the biggest changes in modern coin history. This was the final full year before the launch of the famous State Quarters program, a series that would forever transform how Americans looked at their change. The 1998 quarter belongs to the last chapter of the classic Washington quarter design era before that historic transition began. The P Mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the United States. Philadelphia has been at the heart of American coin production since the earliest days of the nation. When you see that small letter P on a quarter, you are looking at a tradition that stretches back generations. The 1998 P quarter carries this legacy proudly, representing precision, consistency, and the quiet strength of American craftsmanship. The obverse of the coin features the iconic profile of George Washington. This design had already been familiar to Americans for decades, yet in 1998 it still carried weight and dignity. Washington's calm expression, the carefully engraved details, and the balanced layout all speak to stability and tradition. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle spreads its wings, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of strength and peace. This design would soon be replaced, making the 1998 issue one of the last chances to experience the classic look in everyday circulation. At a first glance, a 1998 P quarter might seem common. Millions were produced, and for many years these coins circulated freely. But collectors understand that value is not always about rarity alone. It is about condition, timing, and historical context. Coins from the final years before major design changes often attract special attention. They mark the end of an era. For collectors, owning a high-quality example of this quarter is like owning the final page of a long and respected chapter in American coinage. One of the most important factors in determining the worth of a 1998 P quarter is its condition. Coins that were heavily used show wear, scratches, and loss of detail. However, some coins were set aside early, preserved in excellent shape, or never entered circulation at all. These well-preserved examples are especially appealing to collectors. The sharpness of Washington's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the crispness of the eagle's feathers all play a role in how desirable the coin becomes. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about memory, curiosity, and connection. Many collectors remember growing up in the 1990s, using these quarters in vending machines or arcade games. Holding a 1998 quarter today can bring back the feeling of that time. It becomes a personal artifact, a reminder of an era just before the world changed in countless ways. This emotional value often drives interest just as much as financial considerations. Over time, interest in late Washington quarters has grown. Collectors who specialize in modern U.S. coinage appreciate the importance of completing sets. The 1998 P quarter holds a specific place in those collections. Demand increases when collectors search for coins in exceptional condition, especially those that represent the closing years of a classic design. While many examples remain ordinary, select pieces stand out and capture attention within the numismatic community. Professional grading has become a key part of modern coin collecting. A 1998 P quarter that has been carefully examined and graded by experts carries an added layer of trust. Grading evaluates the coin's surface, strike quality, and overall appearance. Coins that receive high grades are often considered premium examples. This process helps collectors understand exactly what they are holding and why a specific coin may be more desirable than another from the same year. In a world moving rapidly toward digital transactions, physical coins may seem less important. Yet coins like the 1998 P quarter remind us of the tangible side of history. They are objects you can touch, study, and pass down. This quarter represents the end of a familiar design and the beginning of a new era in American coinage. That alone gives it lasting relevance. Even decades after it was minted, that if you are a collector, this coin offers a meaningful addition to your collection. If you are a content creator or history enthusiast, it provides a rich story to share. Talking about the 1998 P quarter is a way to connect history, art, and everyday life. It shows that even small objects can carry big stories, and that value is often found in context rather than appearance. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that the 1998 P Mint Mark quarter dollar is more than just metal. It is a bridge between generations of American coinage, a quiet witness to the closing of the 20th century, and a reminder that history often hides in plain sight. Whether you find one in a collection, a drawer, or a memory, its story continues to shine. Today, we dive deep into one of the most talked about modern American coins, the United States of America 2021 P Mint Mark quarter dollar. This is not just a piece of spare change. It is a symbol of history, design evolution, minting precision, and collector curiosity. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand why this quarter has captured attention, why collectors keep searching for it, and what makes its value so interesting in today's coin world. Background of the United States quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has long been one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. For generations, it has represented everyday commerce while quietly reflecting the nation's identity. From classic designs to modern changes, the quarter has evolved with the country itself. By the time the year 2021 arrived, the United States Mint was ready to introduce something bold and meaningful, something that honored both tradition and artistic innovation. The quarter dollar of 2021 stands at a crossroads between old and new. It carries the familiar face of George Washington, yet it also introduces a powerful reverse design that immediately sets it apart from earlier issues. This combination makes the coin appealing not only to collectors, but also to history enthusiasts and casual observers alike. Understanding the P Mint Mark. One of the most important details on this coin is the small letter P. This mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint has been responsible for countless iconic coins, and its reputation adds an extra layer of interest to any piece bearing its mark. Collectors often pay close attention to mint marks because they can influence rarity, demand, and long-term appeal. The P Mint mark on the 2021 quarter tells us that it came from a facility known for precision, high standards, and deep historical roots. This alone makes the coin a strong candidate for closer inspection and long-term appreciation. Design of the obverse side. The front side of the 2021 P quarter features a refreshed portrait of George Washington. This is not the same familiar design seen on quarters for decades. Instead, it is a more sculpted and artistic interpretation based on an early bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon. Washington faces to the right, a subtle yet meaningful change that immediately signals a new era for the quarter dollar. The details of his hair, facial structure, and expression give the coin a refined and dignified appearance. Surrounding inscriptions maintain a clean and balanced layout, allowing the portrait to stand proudly without visual clutter. This obverse design represents respect for tradition while embracing artistic refinement, a balance that collectors deeply appreciate. Powerful reverse design. Turning the coin over reveals the true centerpiece of the 2021 quarter. The reverse depicts George Washington crossing the Delaware River, a moment frozen in American history that symbolizes courage, leadership, and determination. This design is dramatic and full of motion. Washington stands firm in the boat, surrounded by soldiers and flowing water, capturing a pivotal moment during the American Revolutionary War. Unlike static designs of the past, this image feels alive, almost cinematic, making it one of the most visually striking quarter designs in recent memory. Collectors and historians alike admire this reverse because it tells a story at a glance. It reminds viewers of sacrifice, unity, and the fight for independence, all within the small canvas of a single coin. Metal composition and craftsmanship. The 2021 P quarter dollar is made with the standard modern clad composition used by the United States Mint. While it does not contain precious metal, its craftsmanship and finish still matter greatly to collectors. The quality of strike, surface condition, and overall preservation play a major role in determining desirability. Coins that show sharp details, minimal wear, and strong luster often attract more attention. Even though millions were produced, not all survived in pristine condition, making well-preserved examples especially appealing. Why collectors pay attention? What makes this quarter truly interesting is the combination of historical storytelling, design change, and mint mark significance. Modern collectors are increasingly drawn to coins that represent turning points in design philosophy, and the 2021 P quarter fits that description perfectly. It marks a transition in the quarter series, moving away from long-running themes and introducing a bold, narrative-driven image. This makes it more than just another circulating coin. It becomes a snapshot of a specific moment in time when the mint decided to reimagine how history could be represented in everyday currency. Role of condition and preservation. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Even a modern coin can become highly desirable if it remains in exceptional shape. For the 2021 P quarter, factors such as surface quality, strike clarity, and absence of marks are crucial. Collectors often search through rolls or sets to find examples that stand out. Coins that have avoided heavy circulation tend to retain sharper details and a more attractive appearance. These qualities can significantly influence how the coin is perceived in the collector market. Long-term appeal and collector interest. The long-term appeal of the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter lies in its storytelling power and artistic shift. Coins that represent firsts, changes, or unique designs often hold a special place in collections. Over time, interest in such coins can grow as newer collectors discover their significance. This quarter also benefits from being easily accessible. Many people encountered it in daily transactions, creating a sense of familiarity and nostalgia. That emotional connection can play a surprisingly strong role in collector demand over the years. Why this coin stands out today in a world filled with digital transactions. Physical coins carry a unique charm. The 2021 P quarter stands out because it reminds us that even modern money can be meaningful and inspiring. Its design encourages people to look closer, to ask questions, and to learn about history. For collectors, this coin represents an opportunity to own a piece that bridges everyday circulation and artistic storytelling. It proves that value is not only about metal content, but also about design, context, and cultural impact. Final thoughts for collectors and viewers as we wrap up this deep dive. Remember that every coin has a story, but not every coin tells it so boldly. The United States of America 2021 P Mint Mark quarter dollar combines history, design innovation, and collector appeal into a single, powerful piece of currency. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the world of coin collecting, this quarter deserves your attention. Look closely at its details, appreciate its message, and understand why it continues to spark curiosity and discussion among collectors today.